Hello everyone, this is Vive and welcome to the Cobra Central Toy Review. And today's toy we're looking at the 2011 release by Hasbro of the G.I. Joe Pursuit of Cobra action figure review. And today's action figure review we're looking at the Wave 6 of the Desert Battle Cobra Viper. Now I got this as a gift from kgtrains, and he's from Texas, and he sends this gift from Texas, sent it all the way to Malaysia, and I really appreciate this wonderful gift, really do. Especially this wonderful gift is one of the figures that I really like, the Cobra Vipers, especially when they have the chrome face. So thank you again kgtrains for this wonderful gift. Now let's take a look at the front part packaging itself. The front part packaging, one corner here we have a artwork for the Cobra Viper. Now majority of the parts, not counting the head, the artwork looks pretty nice, very detailed, and looks a bit more realistic. But when you look at the helmet itself, you look at the artwork for the helm, it looks a little bit cartoony and a little bit more roundish for some reason. The goggles, the lenses for the goggles itself are painted in blue, but for the figure the lenses are actually painted in silver, so I'm not too sure what's wrong with that. Now inside the plastic bubble we got the figure. Next to him is the rifle. You've got the backpack, you've got the tripod, the missile launcher, and the missile. Behind the figure itself is the base stand, and behind the base stand is the smaller catalog that lists out Wave 1 and Wave 2 figures. And the back portion of the packaging itself, there's one corner here listing out what is G.I. Joe really about and who they are up against, which is Cobra. Now the mission this time is Desert Battle, and you got a nice little diorama scene going on for the Desert Battle scene. You got the His Tank version 5, you got the All Striker, you got the Desert Battle Dusty, and also the Desert Battle Zartan. No idea which character is that, but funny thing is the CD Strike Alley Viper is located in the middle here. Not too sure why he's doing that. Now at the bottom portion of the back portion of the packaging itself is the profile card. Here is stated Cobra Viper, and they serve as infantry. Their primary weapon, VPR Viper, of course, standard issue pulse rifle, combat gear, tactical pack, missile launcher, missile stand. Now here the smaller write-up stated Cobra Vipers are the highly motivated, superbly trained, and formidably equipped backbone of the Cobra Legions. Their combination assault rifle / grenade launcher can function as a short burst assault weapon, sustained fire cover support weapon, or long-range marksman rifle with a night vision telescopic sight and rangefinder. Wow! Didn't know that assault rifle actually can do all that stuff. And you got a nice image of the Cobra Viper itself. So without further ado, let's open up this packaging so we can molest the figure. Be right back. And we're back after the figure, and there is the stuff out from the packaging. Now let's take a look at the Cobra Viper's accessories, starting with the base stand. Now it comes with a nice little base stand that based on the 25th anniversary design. You got a nice little Cobra logo on the middle, on the top section here, with two pegs for the figure to stand on. Now at the nameplate there stated as Cobra Viper. At the back portion here stated as 2007 Hasbro made in China. Now let's take a look at the Cobra Viper's accessories. First it comes with the VPR standard issue pulse rifle, which is basically the same mold that came from the 25th anniversary Cobra Viper. Now for the pulse rifle itself is basically, well, gray plastic material with no paint job at all. But there's a little bit of details going on, very nicely done because it's based on the 25th anniversary design. You got a scope at the top, a stock at the back, smaller handle on this section which the figure barely able to hold it properly. You got a smaller trigger here, the ammo cartridge on this section, the handle in the middle portion of the rifle. You got the barrel and the grenade launcher with a smaller trigger on this section which doesn't actually show the trigger. Very nice in details, but nothing new. Then we have his vest. The entire thing is made of a black plastic material. Now on this section here you got two small buttons to clip on this section here. Now there's a bit of paint job involving with this vest. The shoulder straps here are actually painted in red paint job, but it's not really well done because it looks kind of sloppy, as the black lining doesn't show properly as well on this section here. It looks rather dirty. Pair of grenades is not part of the vest itself, it's a separate piece that add on to the vest, but they actually paint the pair of grenades with red paint job with silver lining. Now here we have a small little Cobra logo. 3 of the buttons are painted in red. Small little Cobra logo here that's painted in red. On the side, the stripes here are painted in red, but it looks very sloppy and looks very dirty on one side. On the other side, you can see some of the linings are not well done, as you can see on this section here. Both sides of the pouches are painted in grey. Very nicely done with the details as well, but nothing new. It's based on the 25th anniversary mold. Then we have his backpack. The backpack is made of a black plastic material. Back portion of the backpack itself is all hollowed out, and there's a peg to plug at the back portion of the figure. Now the only paint job involving the entire backpack is there's 2 grenades, which is actually a separate piece. They added the 2 grenades into the backpack and painted in red. There's a lot of nice details for the backpack as well. You got the sleeping bag on the top that's already strapped on, water canteen, and a small little pouch. That's all for the 25th anniversary accessories. Next we have the missile launcher. Now the missile launcher is based on the Resolute accessory that came from the Resolute 5 pack that has the Crimson Cobra Commander, Crimson Officer, and a Crimson Trooper with the jetpack flying Duke. Then later on, the Resolute Cobra 7 pack, Firefly, also being given to this missile launcher because it's based on Firefly's accessory. Now the entire thing is made of a grey plastic material with black plastic parts. However, the only paint job involved this entire missile launcher is this section here, which is painted in grey. Now there's a bit of details going on. You got a handle on one side here, handle at the bottom, a little bit of details on some certain section. At the back, there's a black button here to launch the missile. Top section here, the lid can be flipped open to reveal the loaded missile. The missile is in red plastic material color. Here you have a small little joint that goes downward and upwards, and considering that the tripod is a separate piece, as you can see here, you can actually swivel the entire missile launcher 360 degrees. You got the tripod at the bottom. Now let's fire the launcher to test out the missile itself. As you can see, it fires pretty far, and we have a red missile. All you have to do is just place it all the way in, push it all the way in until you hear a click, and you can ready to fire the missile again. Now let's take a look at the figure's paint job. Now the figure's paint job mostly are on dark blue plastic colors, but there are some portions of the body itself that is already painted, which is nicely done actually. Now for the head itself, the outer shell of the helmet is made of a dark blue plastic color, and that back portion of the head itself is painted in silver. The entire goggle is painted in black, and so does the lenses itself, that's painted in silver. Now for the face itself, the face is actually chrome. It's made of a white plastic material, but they actually chromed it, very nicely done. The neck joint here is painted in black. You got a nice little Cobra logo on this section here. On one side here, there's a black pouch with a Cobra logo on the middle here, which is angled in one direction, so that's on the other side. Flesh tone skin that is painted. The rest of the arms itself is not painted at all. Belt is painted in black. Silver buckle is painted. Kneecaps is painted in black. So does the lower section of this straps here is painted in black. lower section of the shin here, the boots is painted in black with, in the middle portion, painted with silver paint job for the laces. And that's all the paint job that is for the Cobra Viper. Now let's take a look at the figure's mold. Nothing on this figure actually has a new mold. Everything on this body is actually reused parts. First of all, it uses, well, 3 different lines: 25th anniversary line, Rise of Cobra, and then Pursuit of Cobra. First, the head itself. Now the head actually comes in 2 different parts. You got the outer shell of the helmet itself and the inside of the, well, face mask itself. 2 different types of parts which is meshed together. The goggle is actually, well, molded on. The entire helmet is based on the 25th anniversary line for the Cobra 5-pack that includes the chrome face Cobra Viper, as you can see here. It's basically the same head. The shoulders, torso, waist, and thighs actually came from the Pursuit of Cobra Shock Trooper. No changes at all. However, the kneecaps and the lower legs there actually came from the Pursuit of Cobra Desert Battle Zartan, as you can see the similarity there. And finally, the elbow joint and the lower arms here. The hands is actually from the Shock Trooper's hands, but the lower arms here is based on the Rise of Cobra Arctic Assault Storm Shadow. As you can see, they are both the same. Now, let's take a look at the figure's articulation. The head can pivot downwards, upwards, side to side, and turn 360 degrees, but with a little bit of tightness of the joint due to the chrome itself. Torso here can move forward, back, move a little bit side to side, and turn 360 degrees. Shoulder joints here can turn 360 degrees and lift the shoulders this high. Elbow joint here can actually bend inwards, backwards, and turn 360 degrees. Wrist joint here can turn 360 degrees, but the right-sided wrist joint can pivot the hand down and up. The left-sided hand itself can turn 360 degrees and goes inwards and outwards. Very nice. I really like the additional new joints for the Cobra Viper itself. Hip joints here can move forward, back a little bit, and to the sides. Then we have double jointed knee that bends all the way that far. And finally, we have the ankle joint that pivots downwards, upwards, and then 360 degrees. Very nice. Now, for the figure itself, I really like the mixture of the parts because, well, it gives the Cobra Viper with more additional bit of articulation. Plus the fact the chrome face makes it way more, well, nicer looking compared to the, well, non-chrome face. Once I put the vest in. Now the problem with the vest is the button don't seem to connect very well, but once it's connected, it looks like it's gonna pop off. And put the head back in, place the backpack. As I mentioned before, the handle for the rifle itself is a bit too short for the Cobra Viper to hold it properly, but it still can't hold it. As you can see, it doesn't hold it properly, as you can see, like so. Overall, I really like the figure. Despite that it's made of a mismatch of parts coming from, well, 3 different lines itself, it's actually quite nicely done because I really like the use of parts for the Shock Trooper, and I really like the chrome face itself, plus the fact the wrist joint is really great, really nicely done. It's a pity that the figure doesn't come with new accessories, but it still looks, well, just like the iconic old Cobra Viper for the 25th anniversary line itself. So I really like the design of the mixture of the parts. If I'm gonna give a rating out of this, I'll give it a nice 8 out of 10. Yes, 8 out of 10 for the Cobra Viper. And I thank you all for watching. This is Lucy05 and I'm signing off.